Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Friday, the 28th of May. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, we'll be talking NRL as the round kicked off last night with the round 12 kicked off last night with the Broncos versus the Storm, rugby as well with the Highlanders versus the Rebels having to be moved from Queenstown to Sydney. In the ALeague, there was a good result for the Phoenix overnight. We'll also talk basketball in the NBA, the NBL, and the Sal's NBL. We've got the cycling in the Giro d'Italia to talk about, as well as the golf with the PGA and the European Tour, both having tournaments this weekend. And finally, we've also got squash and hockey action to discuss as well. So, packed morning this morning on the morning sports briefing, your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's kick off with that hockey, as the Australian and New Zealand national sides are both playing each other down in Palmerston North. In the first game, the Kookaburras, the men's team, took on the Black Sticks men's team, and both were rusty in the first half, but the Black Sticks lost their captain as he got hit in the face early on with a shot at goal and needed stitches above his eye. The Kookaburras eventually took the lead just after half-time on 39 minutes, with the Black Sticks managing to equalise through Sean Findlay, but unfortunately the Kookaburras went on to win 3-1 in that one. In the women's event or women's game, the Hockeyroos took the lead in the first half, but Olivia Shannon equalled things up for the Black Sticks in the second half, and it finished 1-1 in that one, in the first of their games in the series between these two teams. It's first time back to international action for a long time for the hockey. Moving on to the squash then, and Paul Cole has been in action over in the El Guna Platinum PSA tournament in Egypt in the semi-final, where he was up against Tarek Momen of Egypt, the second seed. Paul Cole, the third seed, won in straight sets, 11-9, 11-6, 11-7. It still was a 63-minute game, so even though it was straight sets. So, yes, clearly a competitive one, with one rally taking over 1.5 minutes with 70 shots in it. So, wow, a hard-fought win there for Paul Cole, even though it was in straight sets. He'll be taking on either the top seed Mohamed El Shabang or Fares Desuki, both of Egypt, in the final tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. New Zealand time. So we will bring you that result on Sunday morning on the morning sports briefing, as we'll be playing as we go live tomorrow at 7 a.m. In the cycling, and it was what's called a transition stage, where basically the general classification people took the day easy, and they couldn't see an opportunity to take advantage on their rifles. So a big breakaway went away there, and EF Education First managed to get the win through Alberto Bettiol, who attacked on the final climb to win that one. Remy Cavagna of Deutsche Quickstep came in second, with Deutsche Quickstep losing Evenepoel to a crash yesterday, that would really have saved their race, but it wasn't to be. Nicholas Roach with Team DSM came in third. All the general classification guys came in together, 23 minutes down on the leaders on the day. But with two mountain stages and a time trial coming up, their thoughts are on the final three days of the Giro d'Italia, not so much on yesterday. So it's a good win there for EF Education and Nippon by Alberto Bettiol. Moving on to the basketball then. Let's kick off first with the Sal's NBL, where the Franklin Bulls took on the Otago Nuggets. And the Otago Nuggets got a big win, 103 to 82 in that one. So a big win there for the Nuggets. That sees them on the ladder. Let's bring it up now. Sorry, climb up into fifth place there with a 4-3 record so far. The Franklin Bulls with a 3-5 record down in eighth place currently, but it's very tight. One win. Only one win separating second from eighth at the moment. Second on 8 points, eighth on 6 points. So a very, very tight table in the Sal's NBL. Over in the NBL in Australia, the Wildcats beat the Kings 81 to 67 in that one to keep up the pressure at the top of the table against Melbourne, to try and catch Melbourne United. Tonight, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix will take on the Taipans at 9:30. Taipans bottom of the table. Sorry, over in the Sal's NBL, there are a couple of games this evening. So just bring you up to speed with what those ones are. There's one game this evening. Wellington Saints taking on the Auckland Huskies at 7:30 p.m. there. Over in the NBA then, and 3 games yesterday. The 76ers took a 2-0 lead in the first round against the Wizards, 120 to 95, a dominating win there by the 76ers. The Knicks evened things up with the Hawks, 101 to 92, a good win there for them. So it's 1-1 there. And the Jazz got the win over the Grizzlies in a high-scoring game, 141 to 129 there, as the Jazz tie the series 1-1 in that one after being upset in the first game of the series. 3 more games today with the Heat taking on the Bucks. Heat have a 2-0 lead, but the Lakers, the Suns, and the Trailblazers and the Nuggets, both those series are tied currently. They'll be playing today. In the ALeague, we had a good result yesterday for the Wellington Phoenix. Central Coast Mariners beat MacArthur FC 2-1. That sees Central Coast Mariners up into third place, but means that MacArthur FC now are just 2 points ahead of the Wellington Phoenix on the same number of games, and they have to play each other again this in their final two games of the season. So Wellington Phoenix have got Perth Glory, who sits just beneath them, and then that game against MacArthur FC to round things out. MacArthur FC obviously will have one more game as well. They'll be playing Western United before they play Wellington Phoenix. The Western United is out of the playoff contention, so really looking for a favour there from Western United in that one. In the rugby then, and due to the situation in Melbourne with COVID, they're unable to travel across to New Zealand and play the Highlanders in Queenstown. So that game now has been moved to Sydney instead. And that'll be a 5 p.m. kickoff New Zealand time over there on Sunday. The Chiefs are also looking at what they might need to do for the following weekend, and as they are due to host the Rebels, but that might be have to again be moved to a neutral venue depending on the COVID situation over in Australia. Tonight, the game is between the Hurricanes and the Western Force. Kickoff at 7 p.m. or 5 past 7 p.m. This evening. We'll be live straight after that game with post-match reaction. So do join us for that after the Hurricanes take on the Western Force in the first game of round 3 of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. If you want to listen to my preview of the round, then you can listen to it as a podcast or watch it on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Don't forget, folks, that we are an independent content producer, and you can support us at patreon.com/NZ Sport Radio. The NRL kicked off their round as well with the Melbourne Storm travelling to the Broncos. You've got to say the Melbourne Storm will probably have to stay away from Melbourne. But they got a good win over the Broncos, managed to put that out of their mind, winning 40-12 in that one. So a good win for the Storm over the Broncos, who have been been a bit resurgent recently with a couple of wins. The Cowboys will be taking on the Warriors tonight at 8 p.m. Today. So check out, you can follow that game as well. And don't forget to join the Standoff Show on Wednesday at 8 p.m, where they'll go through all of the action from week 12 as well as preview week 13 as well. You have now started sorry, I've not talked about the golf. Over in the golf, and it's the Charles Schwab Challenge over in the PGA in the USA with Danny Lee, I believe, is in action in this one. We'll just find out how he is going in the first round. And he's having a tough one in tied 89th place at 2 over par in this one. He's ahead of Phil Mickelson, though, the PGA champion from the weekend, who's 3 over par in that one. But it's just the opening round there. In the European Tour, and the leader currently at 7 under par is Spaeth there in that one. On the European Tour, we've got the Made in Denmark Championship. That's currently being led by Ruska, the Finn from Finland, at 5 under as part of a team, part of a group of 5 golfers at 5 under par in that one. So a crowded top of the leader table there. Kiwi Giri is in action at 2 under par. So we'll keep an eye on how he goes in this one. Currently is in tied at 21st place on the European Tour. You have now started the day the best way with all the important sports news. As I say, join us straight after the Hurricanes versus the Western Force this evening for post-match reaction.